turmeric shots. These little bottles of orange yellow liquid that's taking the internet by storm. Well, I personally would like to know, what is a turmeric shot? What's in it? What does it do? Who should take it and who should not take it? So, we're going to answer that question today, or those questions today. My name is David Maloof, and I'm the host of Adventures in Good Health, the place where we discuss natural approaches to good health. To help answer our questions today about turmeric shots is Dr. Stephen Tates. Doc is a master herbalist, a naturopath, an author, an ambassador of integrative medicine, and Doc has over 50 years of herbal medicine experience. And today we're going to put some of that 50 years to good use to figure out what the heck is a turmeric shot. So Doc,
Yes.
help me.
Okay.
Because if you go on YouTube, you see all kinds of videos about how to make this, including shorts where they just mix a bunch of stuff together, and that's like, ooh, it's wonderful, it's great. You can also find it on Amazon. You see it in herb stores. It seems like it's taking the world by storm. But what the heck is a turmeric shot?
Well, we should really talk about what turmeric does for the body anyways.
Okay.
Now, some people will take turmeric in capsule form. Some of it will sprinkle it on their food. But the shots is like in a concentrated form of the turmeric. Now, I'll explain a little while that it's not just turmeric by itself, but turmeric is like the primary ingredient in there. Turmeric, one of its claim to fame is the fact that turmeric is a very, very powerful anti-inflammatory. It reduces inflammation throughout the body from head to toe. Many of our health conditions come from poor circulation and inflammation, things that have gotten blocked and swell in the body. Turmeric has gotten its reputation because of the curcumin property in the turmeric that helps in reducing inflammation. It also helps with inflammation around the eyes, which contributes to that degenerative eye disease, as they call it. It helps with arthritis or any kind of inflammation. Your arthritis, your rheumatoid arthritis, your osteoporosis, your MS, your lupus, your gout, all those are forms of inflammation. Some of your heart conditions can be forms of inflammation. Some of your kidney swelling will be a sign of inflammation. So the turmeric helps reduce the inflammation or reduces swelling in the body, which then helps the blood start to circulate better. It's also used as a herb to take after exercises. I just came from my trainer.
All right.
Spent an hour and a half this morning,
All
lifting weights and stretching, and he's very creative. Said, today we're going to do it. And I'd be like, can the body do that today? And then
Oh my gosh.
there'll be typically some soreness. But for those who have a lot of soreness after an extensive workout, the turmeric is one of those things that helps reduce the soreness because it reduces the tightness, relaxes the muscles, reduces any inflammation, gets that blood flowing, and you can recover from that soreness from your workout so much quicker when you take, a nice shot of turmeric with some of the other ingredients as is necessary to help everything move better. I have a saying, and you've heard me say this a number of times, that movement is life, stagnation is death.
is death.
Right?
Yes.
So the more things are moving, if it's bowel
Right.
movement, if circulation, if it's water moisture, the healthier you're going to be, or the more the body can help in its own repairing process. And then when you have an herb like turmeric that reduces the inflammation, then everything moves better. So that movement comes in even more because there's less blockages because you're taking the turmeric. Again, with other kinds of things, but you're taking
Okay.
it
So
also
I just got a couple questions.
okay, sure.
I've got turmeric in my kitchen cabinet. I mean, is it a kitchen herb? And now a quick word from our sponsor, Dr. Tates Herbal Tinctures and Tonics. Dr. Tates offers the Herbal Blood Tonic, Doc's Detox, Herbal Male Tonic, Herbal Female Tonic, and the Herbal Fat Burner. If you would like to order your tonics or learn more information, you can go to drtates.online. And if you click the link in the description and enter the special promo code Adventures in Good Health 2024, you will receive 10% off your entire order. For more information, click the links below. And now back to the show. Is that the same turmeric that we're talking about?
Turmeric does fall into what is called kitchen medicines. Your onions, your garlic, your paprika, your curry, all this considered as seasonings, but they're therapeutic, so they're called kitchen medicine. So turmeric is used a lot as a seasoning because it's got a nice flavor, but then it helps with everything that I've mentioned previously. There are other herbs that do that same type of thing. Some people take turmeric in capsules. Some will take that whole turmeric root, scrape some of it off, ground it up, mix it in their protein shake, more raw form to sprinkle in their foods, and so there's many forms. The turmeric shot that you were showing, that's the concentrated turmeric, but it's not turmeric alone because turmeric works better when it has its favorite friend, which is black pepper, with the turmeric.
So, all right, so this has black pepper in it, among
other things. Yeah.
So you're saying that it's best if it's taken with black pepper.
Yeah, because black pepper helps enhance the power of the turmeric, but reduces potential irritations or problems that turmeric can have when you take it by itself. Because if you're looking for a turmeric shot, it's going to be hard to find one like you showed with just turmeric. It's going to have black pepper with it. It may have other ingredients like ginger or cayenne or oregano, stuff like that, but it needs to have the black pepper because they blend well together.
Who can take it and who shouldn't take it?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the people who shouldn't take it with certain conditions. Turmeric by itself, not everybody can take. We talked about it before we came on the air that turmeric is not good if you're on chemotherapy or you're on dialysis or you're diabetic or on diabetic medication or you got blood thinners or autoimmune issues where you don't want the immune system building, you want to suppress it. Some people have that with certain conditions. And the turmeric with the black pepper and sometimes with other ingredients actually accelerates the immune system, which is good for most people unless you're on medication to suppress, that. And then also the last is like if you're on blood thinners, because the turmeric helps reduce inflammation, cleanses the blood, so it gets rid of that thickness. So it actually is a natural thinner. And if you're on blood thinner, then you get an issue. There's a couple more things, like a woman who's in the last trimester of a pregnancy, young children like 2, 3, 4, 5 years of age, because it has a kick to it. And you've tried it, and it does have a very, very strong kick. You're taking medicine, herbal medicine, but you're taking it. But then everybody else can take it. It's just understanding how much you should take or the proportion. Now, if you're sprinkling it on your foods, that's one thing. If you're taking it in capsules, you're following the directions because typically the capsules will have black pepper and ginger mixed in it, or black pepper especially. But if you're taking the shot, like if you get that turmeric with some of the other ingredients, you don't take that down like you're taking moonshine. One of these things like this. I mean, it won't hurt you, but it will feel like it's hurting you because it has that kind of strong kick. So it's something you take little sips of.
All right. So it's something you take little sips, and it's a shot. So it's a small, like a couple of ounces. Is that what you think? Like 1 or 2 ounces, small quantities. I mean, this little bottle is like 2.5 ounces. And this came from a store, a local herbal store. So if you go on YouTube, you will find what appears to be hundreds of videos of people, mixing their own do-it-yourself home remedy type versions. And often, they have the turmeric. They'll include some ginger, Sometimes I've seen garlic, black pepper, of course. They'll throw
Uh-huh.
in some honey and lemon and orange. Um, Often though they're kind of short on quantities, and they seem to be 100 different videos that are kind of variations of the same recipe.
Exactly.
I mean, the is there a concern about how much turmeric one would take, especially if they're mixing it themselves versus getting it from a trusted source?
I would first, to answer that question, you want to get it from a trusted source.
Okay.
Or you want to check with your local naturopath or herbalist because one, as we talked about earlier, your health conditions or medication you might be on. Okay, that might be a concern. But more than that, if you're not into mixing stuff, if you don't have any history of, mixing roots and herbs or
Hmm.
even baking a cake, which will help you understand that, proportions are important. You could have too much cayenne in the mixture or too much turmeric in the mixture or not enough turmeric. And regardless of the formula you may be given, you don't know who's giving you that formula. So if you're not used to mixing stuff, especially herbs, and don't have that respect for how powerful they can be and disruptive if you mix too much, you're better off just going to your local health food store, calling somebody to walk you through that. Otherwise, just don't try it. Don't try it because I've seen so many mistakes people make, not just with turmeric, but trying to make herbal formulas, and you have no experience in mixing stuff together. Because we talked about earlier, one of my things that always, I won't say annoys me, but concerns me is that people tend to think, well, it's an herb and a plant, so it's safe. You know, I don't have to worry about any kind of issue. It might not be side effects, but it could be irritation. It could be too much burning. It could accelerate the bowel movement
Hmm.
or suppress the bowel movement, depending on the mixtures you're making. Turmeric falls into that category. You do too much, then it's going to overstimulate the body. So proportions are important to get the maximum benefit, which is why it's better for you just spend a few dollars because those shots are not expensive, to go and get your own and then get customer taking it that
Hmm.
way until somebody actually teaches you how to make it. Not a
Yeah. So
video.
an herbalist or a naturopath may very well provide you with
Absolutely.
a recipe
Yeah.
that is, there's some thought that went into that recipe and the quantities and the doses, because it is medicine. This is
Yeah.
medicine, right?
Yeah.
This is not just a little orange juice or,
No,
you
no,
know,
no.
this is
It's a,
medicine that's stuff in here. And, like this particular formula has cayenne pepper. I know from personal experience that cayenne pepper is a stimulant.
yeah,
And I know that
absolutely.
because I used to take it a long time ago as a herbal remedy for sore throat, and it was effective.
Hmm.
But I would take it all day long, little sips of it, having no idea that it was stimulating. And then I wondered why I couldn't get any sleep.
That's
I was like,
probably
why am I
especially because
not
you
getting
took
any
some at
sleep?
night.
And
Yeah.
it had me so wound up. Um, so people need to know what's in these recipes, what's in these tonics or bottle. They're not tonics, but these bottles.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I was just reiterating your point. You need to know because you can overstimulate your body, like you was up half the night because you had the cayenne.
mm,
That the mixture we showed with the turmeric and the cayenne and stuff, that's not something you want to take at bedtime because it's accelerating the body. You'll be up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning talking about, I can't get to sleep because you told the body, let's get going. Let's get some boosting going. Let's speed up the body's metabolism. Let's get the blood circulating. Let's empower more energy. So it's better in the morning or in the afternoon. But when you get into the evening, unless like in your case with the sore throat and stuff, and you
mm-hmm.
needed that extra cayenne, and then you only take a small amount, it's better during the day, not in the evening at bedtime because
Okay,
it's just not going to
but
settle right.
it is legit.
Oh, if
It
you
is
know what you're
legit.
doing, I'm gonna stop you saying, if you know what you're doing, that turmeric and black pepper by itself together or with the cayenne and oregano, very, very powerful at helping that movement and helping the body heal itself. So, don't think that I'm saying you can't take it. Just appreciate it because it's a really phenomenal healing combination if you know what you're doing.
All right, Doc. Well, this is why we have you on the show, to kind of clear the air. And it's nice to have someone that I can call on to come on the show to just answer some of these quick questions, because this seems to be everywhere. And I'm just naturally suspicious, naturally a little leery of what seems to be like trendy type things. From what you're saying, no, it's legit.
Yeah, it's legit.
But you need to know what you're doing because it is a medicine.
Yeah, and I want to add, I want to repeat what you're saying.
Okay.
Anything that's trendy or new, and they say this is the best thing since sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
You should always be leery of new things. That's part of what we learn in studying herbs is to know what you're doing before you do it. Don't try to, learn on the go. If it's something's trendy, you wait till the smoke clears. See if there's any controversy.
Mm-hmm.
See if there's been any issues, before you jump into something, or talk to somebody like me or somebody else that has been in this for, like you said, 50 years. Made me feel old, because I use half a century. That sounds a little better, but
All right.
but you always should check before you consume something that's new. That should be a standard. No matter how the hypes are about it's the best thing ever. Because the more somebody hypes something, the more suspicious you should get anyway. Okay, what's going on here?
All right. So Doc, if someone has questions, obviously they would want to try to reach out, or they would want to reach out to a master herbalist or a naturopath.
Hmm.
If they don't know of someone, or if there isn't anyone in their local area, they can reach out to you. Is that correct?
Absolutely. No matter where they are in the world, that's not a problem.
All right. So your phone number is popping up on the screen.
Mhm.
And so, Doc, what is the best phone number to reach you at?
The 404-943-1171. And I've always tell people from the various podcasts we've been on is that if you call, mention that you heard, heard the both of us on here talking about a particular subject, because then I know you're one of our podcast family, and that gets a little extra special treatment because you're part of the podcast family.
All right. So what are the benefits? All right, Doc. Thank you very much for being on the show today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Well, so I hope you found the information about turmeric shots helpful and informative. It is a medicine and should be respected as such. All right. So if you haven't done so already, I need you to press the subscribe button. That helps the show. It helps the algorithm on YouTube. And it also, especially if you press the notification button, it'll notify you every time we post a new video to this podcast, which, we're posting 1 to 2 videos a week with critical, useful information, just like we presented today. Be sure to like and to comment. All right, that's it for this week. This is David Maloof signing off, exploring natural approaches to good health. That does it for this episode of Adventures in Good Health. We would like to hear from you regarding this podcast and any suggestions you have for future podcasts. You can reach us at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please subscribe and leave a rating or a review.